Good morning, everyone. It is October the 23rd. Time flies. This morning, you're going to need a chair, a pair of weights, and a yoga block if you have one. All right. Because we're going to use that to move back and forth. If you don't have a yoga block, a small pillow will do. You can use any small thing and lightweight. Anything can work with that, but you'll see as we're going along. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our warm up. So check your floor all the way around you. Make sure you have your weights. You know where your things are. We will get moving. Let's go wide stance. Roll your shoulders. Actually, I want you to do a figure 8. So you're just basically going to do backstroke shoulders. Now let's go forward. And you really want to kind of use your elbows to bring that. You're moving your shoulders. Let's breathe it up. Here we go now. Big stretch the arms like you're yawning. Let's do it again. You gotta go here. You gotta hold it. That yawn stretch. You know how you gotta go slow and get all the way back. One more time. Big stretch through your chest, through your back. All right, palms and roll your shoulders forward, pulling the shoulder blades away. You kind of hunch forward and just your chin dropping a little bit. Relax. Shake your arms out. And let's push into the hip. And basically, you're just going to push that one hip one way. Go just enough to feel a little tension on the inside of the opposite leg. And when you push out of your hip, you're going to feel it from your heel to your hip. So you want the tension here, and then the push in the cheek that's back. Again. All right, we're just going to turn. And you turn into, just do a little pulse, pulse. And as you'll turn, pulse, 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 pulse. Let's do 2 more. Here. And here. Let's go into our heel lifts. Stretching our quads. Let's use our arms. Knees, turn them out. So you're opening your hips up and open. If you ever played hacky sack, this is the hacky sack move. You're picking up your ankle to hit it with the base of your heel. Let's go march. Make sure you're moving your elbows forward and back and move around your room. Here we go now. If you want to, think of it as the most multiple point turn you can make. Just go forward and backward, but make one small adjustment in your angles. So you're hitting all the points in your room. Good. Back to center. Shake your hands out. All right. For the next exercise, we're going to be alternating doing bicep curls. So you're going to start with the weights in one hand. And the other weight is just open. In fact, you could grab your block if you wanted to. So for 30 seconds, we're going to curl like this, and then we're going to switch to 2 hands. And the song is long. We have plenty of time. Ready? We begin. So you're just going to curl with the 2 weights in one hand for that 30 seconds, and you just got the block in the other hand just so that your hand has something to hold on to. This helps your mind think you're a little more balanced than if you had an empty hand. Now, when I start the countdown, you're simply going to put the block to the side and have a weight in both hands. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and then we go here. On the next 30 seconds, we will put both weights in the other hand with the block in the previous double-weighted hand. So we're just going to do this. You don't have to go fast. You just have to lift and lower, nice and steady. Switch to double hand. 3, 2, 1. And then go right into your lift. Again, you don't have to use the block, but mentally sometimes our brain's like, oh, I've got something there. And it just helps you balance out a little. All right, when I do the countdown, you're going to put the block down and go back to singles in each hand. 3, 2, 1. Good. Now, the next time you do the countdown, you're going to put both weights in the first hand. So we're doubling down on the last 2. 3, 2, 1. So you can go back to your first hand, and you're just going to bicep. You don't have to go fast if the weights are heavy. Slow it down just a little bit to maintain your good form. There you go. And on the next countdown, we're switching hands. So you'll go from one hand to the other. 3, 2, 1. Tuck that here. Switch these and go here. Excellent. We're getting our very big arm workout done at the beginning, and then we will have another one towards the end. And we'll be done in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and set everything to the side. And I'm going to pause this because it's a long song. All right. We're going to go to hip hinges. So everybody go into your hip hinge position. Get your feet at the position you like to start with. And I will go ahead and, yeah, this is a long song too. All right. Remember, we're going to roll our hips back, tucking our belly button towards the top of our thighs, head and neck at neutral. Sink into those hamstrings, and let's hold it there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Shake it out because we're stretching. All right, sink back down in that same position. Finding those hamstrings. Once again, we've been, relatively sedentary-ish over the weekend, so we've got to stretch the hammies. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Before we do anything else, I want you to toe march. This will actually help with the hamstring stretch. And will help you activate your shins as well. Good. Now switch to heel march. So you have to lean forward a little bit so that you can lift your heels. This actually takes a little tension off your hamstrings. But you're already in a good hip hinge position, so you can hold this without doing a lot of movement. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's roll it up. Ooh, give it a good little shake out. Pick up your heels. If you need to widen your stance, now's a good time to do it. If you don't, stay right where you are. It's entirely up to you. Roll the hips back. And let's do halfway down, halfway up. Here we go. Down and up. Just find a nice, smooth, steady pace that works for you. You hit the bottom, you squeeze the cheeks, you come back up. Head and neck are at neutral. Be mindful of your lumbar. Good. Go ahead and come up. Take the legs out, hip hula. And the other way. All right, so we're gonna sit into our left hip. So remember, you're sitting your hip back and you're over your knee. Your knee is square. And then come up, do the same thing to the right. I'm letting my hands hang because it helps me to remember where square is, but you could still brace. So your hand positioning is entirely your own. We're revisiting that inner thigh here and that heel to hip connection. One more. Go ahead and come up. Do a couple of heel lifts for me. And we're going to just sit down. Now, we're not going to go very far. We're going to go about halfway. And we're going to do our toe march. Now, your focus here is not to be waving a lot. Let your hips take the movement, but your head is steady. Good. Now, heels. Again, you have to kind of tilt forward a little bit. Raise those heels, but you don't want your head bobbing up and down so that your legs are taking all of that movement, but your upper body is not. Good. Excellent job, you guys. Sit back to your heels and pulse. Just keep it here at this happy middle medium area. 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it up. Hip hula. Release the tension in your low back and the other way. Nice. Pick up your block or your cushion. You could use a ball conceivably if that's what you have. Go wide. So we're going to do push-pull. So you will have the ball, you're going to push it and pull it. So it's just not extend and pull back. You're going to push. So you're going to tilt forward on your push. Push and come back in. Push, push. So your knees are working. Ready? Here we go. You want the no fingers challenge? Just use the palm of your hand to hold the block. Center. Now I'm still going side to side, but you find a pattern that works for you, okay? Go back to our diagonal head level. And down. So you're going to fold and in. Excellent. Go back to our side. Push, pull. Again, challenge level if you want a little bit more in the arms. That means you're not gripping. You're doing that gentle press. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. I'm actually stopping that one early too because, yeah, I'm done with that part. I want to get to the next part. Put your block down. All right. Sumo march. That's that wide leg. And you want to pick that leg and then pick the knee up first to bring the foot with it. So it's here and down. Now, if you want a target or a goal, turn into the long way of your room and march yourself across the room. And then you can just kind of move your, you can walk yourself back and sumo march forward so that you feel as if you're making strides because you literally are making strides. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to sumo march to begin with. That one. So go wide stance, sit into your hips just a little bit, and you're going to pick it up. And it helps if you use your arms. And you can just take those steps forward. And remember, I'm the only one that can see you unless you have the big Brady Bunch screen going on. Nobody's going to laugh. You can do backward sumo steps if you're comfortable with it. And it's a good challenge to take the big step and move. Take myself turn. Excellent. Good job, you guys. The hands really do help. Gives you that motivation to lift. All right. Orient yourself back to your home space. Give your legs a good little shake out. Let's keep our hands nice and long. Sink into our hip hinge. We're going to pulse and push. Pulse and push. So it's going to be 1, 2, and raise. 1, 2, and raise. 1, 2, and raise. So you're not trying to touch the floor. Your head and neck need to be looking forward, and you're protecting your back. Good. 4, 3, 2. Let's finish out this last one. And we are done. Go ahead and pick up your weights for me. Oh, yeah. So many fun things to do today. All right. We're going to do a 4-count lift. So much like we were doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So no, normally biceps are going to be right here close to your body. I want your hands out. You lift shoulder level. You're lifting into goal post. You're coming out. You're coming down. It's almost at a 45-degree angle. Not quite. But you can make it a little different from our traditional bicep curls and our overhead press. So I want your lift to stay at this nice measured pace because we're going to add feet into this. So when you go up, lift up on your toes and come down. So it's only that top part, not here, but here and down. Good. Excellent. Now I know for me, I'm actually taking my bicep curls out a little bit more because we're going nice and slow. It allows me to accommodate for my outer arm movement, but notice when my arms are almost fully out to the side, I don't go all the way down. So if I'm here, this is as far as I go, so that I'm not hurting my arms when I do this. You do you. Make sure you're aware of what's going on. All right. We're going to add a toe lift here. You're going to lift your toes and then go up on your heels, come back down. So toe lift, heel lift, down. Yeah, let's don't do that. Let's just do the heel lift. It's like there's a little too much going on. The toe lift would actually have to start now, but you're already coming down. So if you go heel, down, toe lift, down, heel, down, toe lift. And the toe lift is very short, you guys. So you're not holding it for a big count. It'd be up and then down. So you're having to kind of Watch your balance. Good. Good. Let's do 4 more and we'll be done. And then this number 3. Number 2. And number 1. Okay, pick up your heels. Let your foot kind of flick a little bit. Roll your shoulders. Now go to natural stance. Put your weights down in front of your toes. Make sure that they're on the flat edges so that they don't roll. And then put your toes up on those guys. Ooh. Okay, while we're waiting, do the shoulder rolls with the elbows. And let's go the other way. All right. Hips back, belly button towards the top of the legs. Long arms, head and neck at neutral. You're going to feel your hamstrings first. Hold it there. If you need to brace, brace. Allow your body to sit into it. We're really going to stretch those hamstrings today. And pulse. Just right there. Keep it in the center. Head and neck at neutral. Now slide side to side. So your movement should not be terribly big. Just enough to accommodate your foot width. And I'm kind of using one knee, bending a little more than the other to make sure my hip gets back. So I'm feeling it in the back of my legs and I'm not feeling it in my knees. Because I'm going to push back on this bend. 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it up. Ooh. Well, side to side while we're up here, while we still have our toes up and engaged, so that your muscles can kind of push against each other, giving them a little of that self-massage. Come off, step around. That way you don't have the chance of tripping on your own weights. Heels up. Now, take a moment to get your heels up and then hips. Make sure you're okay with this movement. All right. Hips, belly button. If you can, let your arms hang. If you need a brace, brace. But make sure your lumbar's in good position, gang. We're letting that stretch. Remember, you don't want to bow your back and bend into it. You want to have that slope upward. Go ahead and brace if you need to, and pulse. You might be saying to yourself, how do I know if I'm in the right place? Your chest still needs to be up. If your chest is going towards the floor, chances are you've probably rounded your back a little bit. If you're not hurting, that's the biggest key. If you've got lumbar issues, that's what you have to watch out for. Now let's do our side to side. In this position, it's a little harder. I mean, you can't really move your knees. This is all in the hips here. So you have to kind of feel from the heel to the hip again, because your body's already in that position to push into that. Good. Four, 3, 2, 1. Roll it up. Woo. Step off. Hip hinge and pick your weights up. Get your chair. We're going to do abs and right into our stretch. We're going to need our block. So sit down. Get your feet, heels underneath. Go ahead and take them out to ab position. And you're going to put the block even with your heels, and then put your heels on the block. I've got my toes currently just laying forward. I know you can't see that, but that's what they're doing. All right. Weights up here, belly button forward. So you got on your hips, your belly button is rolled towards your knees, which are your thighs, which are a little higher than normal. Roll back into your 80. and pulse. Now, try leaving your toes relaxed and forward. Your legs will engage a little bit more, especially up here in the quads. Primarily, you're going to feel it in one of these areas up in here. And make sure you're breathing. Roll it forward. Now, take one foot off, and so I'm going to take off my left foot. I'm going to move my right foot over to the left position so that I can cross my left foot over and still have good balance on the block. I'm going to roll back to my 80. I'm going to turn to my right. So we're all kind of askew here. And we're going to do this one for about 20. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come center. Take your left foot off. Take your right foot off. Left foot goes to the right side. Right leg goes over. Straighten up your body and turn to the left and lean and pulse. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come center. Take your feet off. Take your feet out to 45. And let's just take our weights down. And we're just going to do our slow lean. We're taking this into a stretch with our resistance. So the goal here is twofold. You're stretching from the hip into your back. Actually, it's threefold. Your arm, you need to let the arm that's hanging hang and relax. And then, of course, your shoulder, which is attached to your arm. So 2.5 technically. Your sits bones. Go ahead and leave that weight down. And then leave the weight down here. We're going to take that right elbow out to the knee so you've got that turn going up in your body. And just take the hand back behind you, using your elbow to kind of brace. And you're just going to open your body, look back towards your hand for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring this hand down first. Roll your body in and then sit up. On your sits bones, you need to move because you stretch this. All right. Elbow out as far as you can. Open your body. And then take this arm back. So you're levering here at the bottom and reaching back. And then turn and look at that hand if you can. And we're going to hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hand in first. Slide up and come to center. Rock on those sit bones. And then do a little bit of a hula here. We want to make sure that our lumbar is still good. And then the other way. Heel toe walk in. I'm going to go ahead and get my block out of the way here so I can bring my feet all the way in. Bring one knee up. Just get your arm wrapped around it. Give it a good hug. And while you're hugging, use that the left hand. If you're doing left arm, just kind of flex that shoulder blade away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently pull that down. And let's get this one in. And hold it. Get a good grip. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that down. Rock one more time. And really just kind of focus on picking the hip up so that you get that little bit of a push the muscles against each other. Roll that belly button forward. Really kind of hyper flex this a little bit, not to the point of your detriment, just as a good stretch. Take a deep breath. And then roll into the slouch, gently pushing your lumbar back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe it up. And exhale down. You guys, thank you for joining me today, and we'll catch you on the flip side.